Amber asks Steve, she says, I have a Christian friend who is stating and sharing with others that Allah is the same as God, and we as Christians need to talk to Muslims so we can get educated on why it's the same God. I can go about this in so many ways, but I want to do it in a way that would win her over. Please help.
Is this a Christian she's talking to?
She said Christian friend.
Okay. That's nonsense. She needs to do a study on Allah. Allah is the name for the moon god in Arabia. And so the moon god was the family god of Muhammad.
Is that why they have a crescent moon over their temples?
Yeah. It's the reason for that. It comes from that. And so when you look at Allah in the Quran, he doesn't love people, and the Muslims don't have a personal relationship with him. It's basically what Muhammad did when he came into power was he took control of Medina, which had a number of idols in it, and he got rid of the idols of all the other Arabian tribes and used the God of his own tribe as the one God that everybody should worship and follow, and that was Allah. And you can tell that it's not a new thing with Muhammad because of the names of the people that they come from. The name for God was something that came about previous to the coming of Muhammad. And so lots of people do this kind of thing with every religion that comes up on the planet. And so when you're talking to somebody about nirvana, for example, and people equate nirvana with heaven, nirvana is not heaven. Nirvana is nothingness. And a person who thinks that it's heaven or bliss or whatever doesn't understand the concept. It's the idea of melding back into what into the amorphous God and becoming nothing yourself. And so nirvana is not heaven. And when you talk about the gods of other people, you have to understand where these things come from. And so I would never equate Allah with the God of the Bible. There's no similarity.
Right.
Allah is capricious, and Allah is unloving, and Allah, Allah commands the Muslims to lie to the people who are around them. They're allowed to trick people in contracts and go back on their word, based on whether or not the end is going to justify the means, basically. And this is just stuff that you can read about in the Quran. And so a person who comes up with that is somebody who actually needs to be educated on Islam. The Islamics would not say that Christians are worshiping Allah.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, there shows you. They'll kill you off if you don't make that decision.
Right. They do not say that. And the Islamics would not say that the Jews are worshiping Allah. They are not, as far as Islam is concerned. As a matter of fact, they're at the Dome of the Rock, there is writing in Arabic. It's a really pretty building. But around the top, there is this scroll work that's done on tiles. And one of the statements that's made on the top of the Dome of the Rock is that God does not beget, neither is he begotten. And it's a direct slam on Christianity. And so Jesus is not the Son of God, according to Islam, and that God cannot be begotten. So Jesus is not the Son of God, and he's not God in the flesh, is the point of making this statement. And they make it openly, they make it publicly, they make it understood that they are different. And so if Islam thinks that their God is different than ours, then why would we think that they were the same? And so, it's a pretty simple thing.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Amber, thanks for posting today. Hopefully that helps you with your friend.